Thank you, Madam Chair. And this is going to be maybe one of the greatest tests I've ever had, because I'm going to try and interview Dr. Stuart Shanker, who I am so excited, and we have hours and hours to squeeze into 6 minutes. So, Dr. Shanker, I believe we can do this. Dr. Shanker has personally transformed my life and my children's life, and I can tell you with certainty that this man knows exactly what we need to do on a child mental health level as well as an adult mental health level. And his research is proven and it works, but it is not a quick fix. Nothing is. So, Dr. Shanker, I truly believe that if we want to help our children, we have to help the people who deal with our children. Otherwise, we will just keep passing over our own stress, much of what you were talking about in your testimony. One of the things you speak of is calm begets calm. If the people who are supposed to care for our children, and this study that we are looking at, particularly in FEWO, is about factors contributing to the mental health of our youth and young girls, and how do we help that and how do we support that? So if calm begets calm, if the people who are supposed to be the calm are not calm and don't have the tools to learn, what impact will that have on our children, and how do we get them to be calm?
There are two really important points in what Michelle's just said. The first one is that we do know from the studies we've done that anyone who's working with children, teens, and young adults today is extremely stressed. And what we have found at all of the institutes that we run is we have to start off the first day dealing with their mental health needs. And particularly, we work on something called self-regulation. Michelle's second question is, why is that so important? And the reason is, one of the recent discoveries in neuroscience is we have a brain-to-brain connection with kids. It's a wireless connection. It goes from our limbic system to their limbic system. What the child hears is what our limbic system is feeling. If I am irritated, if I am anxious, angry, hyper-aroused, that message is communicated to the kid. If I am calm, if I am myself regulated, that message is communicated to the kid. So it's called the interbrain, and it is truly a game changer in our understanding of why it doesn't matter so much what we say, what words we use. It's the messages that our brain is sending, and it sends these through eye gaze, through tone of voice, and so on. Is that a good enough answer, Michelle?
Oh, it is. And I know I've watched it work, and I understand, and it changed my life. As I said, we have $4.5 billion dedicated right now under the Minister of Mental Health that is supposed to be allocated to mental health. Dr. Shanker, you have the framework, the research, the data in place of self-regulation to teach inside schools, to teach to teachers, to teach to coaches, to teach with everyone who is dealing with our children, including all of our witnesses, to teach these frontline workers how to self-regulate. Would that $4.5 billion, if some of it was allocated to you for a framework that we need for mental health strategy to help our people cope with mental health wellness, would you be able to implement it?
Again, it's a great question, because what Michelle is pointing to is the fact that our numbers are so overwhelming that we need to be thinking in terms of a universal approach. And that's why she's itemized things like schools or any organization or parenting groups. What we have to do is develop methods that empower the child or empower the teen, methods for recognizing when they're overstressed, how to reduce that stress, how they can turn off that disparity I was talking about, the stress response, how they can experience calm, which is a forgotten thing these days, and finally how they can restore. Can it be done? Yes, we've seen it can be done. Can you turn around a child's trajectory? You can change every single kid's trajectory. But to do it, it's a step-by-step process, and they have to get back into homeostasis. They have to get back into that balanced brain state. And yes, we can teach this through our public resources. In fact, that's what we're doing right now, and it works.
It certainly does. And I think frontline workers need your self-regulation as much as our children do, because if we both don't have it, it's not going to work. I just would love you to touch on, I know you didn't get a chance in your testimony to say what you need to do. I think we have about 40 seconds left. Dr. Shanker, I'm going to give you the floor if you want to take it.
If I was going to give you one single message, it would be this. I've done this now my entire adult life. I've seen thousands and thousands of kids. I have never seen a bad kid. There isn't such a thing, okay? So if a kid is overstressed, it's a warning sign for us. This kid needs help, and we have to give it, and that's why you guys have met together in this committee.
I couldn't agree more. There is no such thing as a bad child. Why do we see the behavior, and why now? Words from my very good friend, Dr. Stuart Shanker. Thank you.
Thank you.